Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Grim Dawn. The last episode we defeated Warden Krieg. And very importantly, we got quite some money from the entire adventure. Enough money actually to do some component crafting. Because most of the components that you find in the game are, well, you could call them tier 1 components. They're low grade, they work, and early on you're gonna use them, but if you have the financial means and the necessary crafting components, you want to trade them up into better things. So things like these battered shells, the individual components drop and eventually they turn into a full battered shell, which adds a little bit of physique and well, actually quite a sizable number of blocking chance points. But for example, you have the serrated spikes, which now they add 2 piercing damage and 6 bleeding damage. And that's with 2 components merged already. So that's not really gonna move the needle further into the game. So that's why you can upgrade them. So you got these serrated spikes, and you can, at some point, if you combine them with an ether crystal and a serrated spike, you can make vicious spikes, which are a bit nastier, a bit meaner. You actually need 4 components to merge them, and then you eventually get a full vicious spike. And I've got one of these because it actually later on in the game they start dropping. So that's one of the things that you do with your crafting components. You just upgrade them and level them up as you go. So I had a quick browse through the components and had a bit of a look at the gear. And I've decided to upgrade some of my items. For example, I put a anti-venom salve in my belt. And the interesting thing is it adds resistance, it has a life regen and it adds armor. And if you add armor to a non-armor component, it applies to your entire body. So actually an armor bonus applied to a belt is more powerful than an armor bonus applied to your shoulder pads, for example, or to your body, because it's only going to apply to a single component. On the other hand, I've got a armor that has very good resistances on it. A nice bonus to physique, but its base armor is on the low end. So by adding a upgraded component, the scaled height is an upgraded component again. By adding it in, I extend the life expectancy of this armor a bit by just upgrading the armor. And if you hover over your armor number here, it actually gives you a breakdown for each of the armor components, what the effective armor rating is going to be, as well as the chance that you will get hit on that area. So your chest armor is actually pretty important to have a high armor for, because there's a 26% chance that you will get hit on it whenever you get attacked. Next up are your legs, then your head and your shoulders, and then your arms and your feet have the lowest chance of getting hit. So that's something to keep in mind. So I have anti-venom salve to boost my life regen and poison and acid resistance. I crafted 2 ward stones. They boost elemental resistance, so that's fire, cold and lightning. So 7% elemental is basically 21% resistance points spread over 3 resistances, and another 15% bleeding resistance. And I put another one in my amulet as well, because that's where ward stones can go, amulets and medals. So my bleeding resistance is now up to 30. I've also crafted a purified salt, which gives you some defensive ability, some life leech resistance, so it's harder for monsters to leech life from you, so it's easier for you to kill them because they can't steal a lot of life back. It does extra damage to ethereals and to ether corruptions, and because the ethereals are going to be a constant menace throughout the entire game, it's a pretty nice thing to have. And it grants an ether ward aura that you can activate just as a skill, and it's a toggleable aura that reserves energy. And that's going to increase your ether resistance by 20 points and increases your maximum resistance by 3%. I believe resistances are capped at 75% by default, so this is going to boost it to 78, which is actually pretty powerful. So I've got 20% ether resistance and some bleeding resistance, because those were the things I didn't really have. I had poison resistance, but ether and bleeding I didn't have. And as we get further into the game, resistances are going to become more important. And I also added some bristly fur to my boots to just boost my health a little bit, and some extra constitution, so that's the yellow haze that hangs over your life that affects how much you can regenerate outside of combat. And I believe once your constitution runs out, you will no longer regenerate your life automatically to full outside of a combat. So it's useful to have, but it's not critical because most of the time you don't run out. So, and with that, I actually also did a tour here. And we found that the lady I was talking about, Constance here, she actually has the quest now to look for cloth. So I will look for fabric. Actually, here it is. Boom. So she now made a nice bed for the children to sleep in. So everybody's happy. Boosted her reputation a bit, and we got a fortified doublet. Ooh, you actually get armor. That's pretty cool.
That skill's not ready.
Let's see. What does it do? It actually looks pretty nice. Fire. Never click stuff without actually reading what it does. So adds extra fire, it adds extra cold resistance. Slightly less resistances than our old armor, but it is significantly more armor. Adds a bunch of health, some defensive ability and some energy regen. So I really do like this armor. Downside is, once I equip it, I'm no longer strong enough to hold up my pants or to keep the bucket on my head. So I need to boost my physique by probably one more level up. So let's just keep this here in our second bag. And then once we level up, we can equip it. So that's it. Let's move on. And actually, we have a portal. Keep forgetting that I have a personal portal that you can actually use in town. So last episode I was talking about heading towards the East Marsh. So let's do that. So let's double check the map. Yeah, we angle down here. First obligatory killing some zombies. So one of the things I could also have crafted, but chose not to do, is craft myself something that goes in here, a relic. The thing is, there's 3 relics that become available at level 18, but they don't feel quite useful for a melee assassin. There are a couple more that become available at level 25. That are more interesting. One of them being a sanctuary that gives you a damage absorption shield whenever you at a certain percentage chance of getting hit. So it's a very nice defensive option that I think is going to be pretty good since we are in melee all the time and absorbing quite some damage from the baddies. And since relics tend to use some rare ingredients such as squishy brain parts that normally only drop from major bosses and things like that. I mean, these purple things like scrap, they drop pretty often. Blood of Cthulhu later on becomes a pretty common thing that drops. But squishy brain matter, apparently most of the zombies are looking for brains because they don't have any. So as a result they don't drop them when you kill them. So that's a bit of an issue. But it also means I try to be a bit conservative with how I spend those rare materials because, well, if you don't have them, you can't use them, and if you want to use them, you need them. And there's zombies behind the shit. They're all level 15, so not gonna get full experience here. We're just gonna quickly dash through here. Hello there, spiders. How are you today? Repair site. We need 1 dynamite to clear it. Boom. And then 10 scraps and 8,000 iron bits. Holy moly, I was expecting it to take like 3,000. I don't have that much cash on me anymore. Okay. That's a bit unfortunate. So that means the Eastern Marsh is gonna be some content that we look at later. Ooh, we haven't been here yet. Let's plunder. It almost feels unfair killing all these lower level zombies. Well, we need to level up to get our new body armor equipped. Actually, if we can't get to the eastern march just yet because we're too poor, let's have a look if we can get west to Old Arkovia. Set some first steps on the way. I believe this was cheaper. Yeah, 6 scrap and 3,000 iron bits. Okay, so I mean the big difference in price to repairing the bridges probably means that we actually have to head here first, and then our Old Arkovia is gonna be the next one. So level 20 content. So this just scales properly along again. So there's a road here. Let's follow it. Hello there. Post-apocalyptic zombie world cowboy. And then I remember something about there being a fortress up here. And there's a star on the map in this direction. So that also means we should go here and kill things. Because there rarely seems to be peaceful negotiations in this game. Let's just batter down the walls. Hello there. Here. There's a lot of them and they got some add-ons. Let's do this smart. Oh, he's throwing knives like I am. Let's just kill the lackeys. And then go for the boss. Rather than facing the boss while also facing the lackeys. Jeez, there's a lot of them. So, using teleport to get out of battle rather than into trouble. How many of them can there be? Very, very happy I actually upgraded my gear before heading over here. Actually had to drink a potion there. Slowly whittling them down though. Problem is of course that their boss is actually boosting them. Okay, now it's just you and me. Edmund Shanks Doyle. Mano a mano. And we got him. You'll pay for this. Darius wants this prison, and when he finds out what you've done, he'll wish I shanked you dead. Well, rest in peace, scum. So, we defeated the first baddie. How are we? Yeah, see, we're very, very poor. We need more cash. And I think we actually have to report back, so that's exactly what we'll do. Maybe they'll give us some cash. Wondering why the bandit didn't have any voice acting though, since it was part of the quest.
Well, did they like our housewarming gift?
I killed the man in charge by the name of Shanks.
You work fast. I like that. We'll need more of that for what's coming next.
So, what's the next target?
Darius Cronley. Last I've seen his face, they almost hung him for a double homicide. The warden intervened at the last minute in favor of a life sentence in Devil's Crossing. Seems there were ulterior motives after all. Darius Cronley is the devil-made manifest, devious and manipulative with a penchant for sin of every kind. He's the one running this gang, and he's the one we need to go after next.
So, you have a plan?
We have to hit them hard and fast, leave no room for a counterstrike. I've only seen a portion of their operations in the region, but they are really entrenched on the Foothills in Old Arkovia. Shanks surely wasn't Darius's only lieutenant, so I suggest you find the rest and kill them. We don't want one of them taking over after Darius is dealt with. I don't have any names for you, but they will probably have equally clever prison names as our dead friend Shanks. But to really end this, you need to cut off the head of this operation, Darius Cronley. If what I hear is true, you will find him hiding out in the mines underneath the Four Hills. Lastly, my scouting partner Elsa must still be out there with them. If I venture to guess, Cronley has her in his clutches. Save her from that brute. I hear you are quite capable, so don't let me down. When you find yourself out there, I recommend you seek out a man by the name Quaid. He and his group forsook the peaceful ways of the Rovers in favor of fighting back against the outlaws. And I'm glad they did. It was Quaid's people that pulled me from the jaws of death.
Let's get right on that.
I trust that you are handling everything all right.
Yep. Happy with that. Still no bounties? Still no bounties. Don't think they like me that much yet. Hey, so, did we get anything worth selling? We got a truncheon. Well, that's a club, so we don't use it. Got some crafting materials. Managed to get a chilled steel. Which is for weapons. So not yet relevant. Actually, I have to walk towards the portal to get back to where we were. Let's see if we can find the waypoint here in the foothills. And then just wreak some general havoc. Hey, hello. Venomwing stingers. And stone tusk boars. I like that they added quite some variety to the monsters. And that even within zones, it's not like, oh yeah, this is the cowboy zone, so there's only gonna be cowboys. It's like, no, there's some cowboys, and then you'll find some beasties, and then you find some other beasties, and then suddenly there's golems. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's talk about this, fellas. Let's talk about this. Okay, no talking. But if it's just you and me and not also that big golem. Dang, 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 dang. No. Backstab. Dang, he ran away. Come on, stop it. Okay, I'll deal with you later. For now though. Gee. They hurt. They really hurt. Okay. Wow, this is not even a named one. He looks like a named one. With all the special pretty green colors. It's just really, really tough. But on the other hand, once again, we did not bite the dust. Okay. Now for some vengeance on Mr. Spare Ribs over there. Yes, that's you. Thank you. Oh god. Got friends. Well, I guess there's more room on the barbecue for where you came from. Dread Tusk. It's the slightly angrier friend of Spare Ribs that we just killed. Okay, then now I've made myself hungry by talking about Spare Ribs. That wasn't such a good idea. Ooh. Blue boots. Well, first kill this guy before he starts eyeing us as if we are part of his lunch. Then have a look at what we just got. Okay, so green shield, don't care. Blue boots. Boots of unseen swiftness. These boots appear to be of a make and material unlike any in this world. They actually have more armor, more physique, more movement speed, chance to avoid melee and projectile attacks, and less light radius. So I guess we see less, or is that because they see us less? Interesting. And a skill, 100% chance on when hit, interruption. The immense speed of these boots requires complete focus on every step taken. Even the slightest distraction could result in a misstep. So then, if you get hit, you have 20% less movement speed for 3 seconds. Okay. But it grants 18% movement speed, so that's basically you go down to, you lose 2% movement speed overall. But you gain some interesting avoidance options, so definitely good to have once we level up, but it needs level 25. Belt's not an upgrade, this is a club, this is a gun, we don't care about those. We're not savages, we are refined assassins. Well, Nightblades. Yes. Hello there, Drew Larkin. Here, dying man out. What will ya? So what happened to you? He was backstabbed by his partner. Oh, let's we'll track down your partner for you. Keep on running. Some Cronley's man. Wicked. Froze the guy with sight. Always very satisfying. Oh. I decided to teleport to the next guy just as he dropped loot. That's a classic. Then hello there, Mr. Isaiah. Who in the hell are you? What do you want from me? Well, hear about your partner. Isn't dead yet? Let me explain. This is a huge misunderstanding. That's usually how lame excuses start, right? Well, I'll hear you out. So the guy's worthless scum. He tried to rape his daughter, Josephine. That's not cool. That's really not cool. He confronted them, got violent. So he wanted to leave him to rot. Oh, let's trust him. You don't make up stories like that unless you really are scum. But yeah, so let's trust him. Good. And then we continue. And I see a portal on the... overseers. Detour, we have to kill these guys. Beholden. Overmind. He's reflective, that's gonna be painful. Okay, maybe we should focus first on taking out the other guys, because if he's reflective, that means he's gonna reflect my damage back to me. And then it's probably good to not have too much extra damage that we have to tank on top of all of that. Okay, they are actually hurting quite a bit. How many special zombies can you have, I wonder? Wonder if he's got an aura of some sort, if that's the issue. Yeah, see, I can't take the guy on with so much extra damage. Are the numbers thinning out? No, they just keep coming. Okay. Why is that? Ah, crystal. Take out the crystals, take out the zombies. Luckily, that's how it works here. So my life bubble is way lower than I would like it to be. This is a rather nasty encounter, I have to say. I don't remember it from my previous playthrough. Yeah. Yeah, numbers are lessening. That's good. So, no! Stop resummoning them. Okay. That did not go as expected. Okay, then we take out this guy. Gold one, froze me, dang it. And he didn't have the decency to drop a frozen heart. That's too bad as well. So there was more here. Some crystals, some food, some more crystals. Another whole population of zombies and something that's red glowing here. And more crystals. Oh wait, that's just lunch that's glowing red. Well, can't be too bad, right? It's untouched. Then we get anything cool. A resistant overseer eye of decay. Oh, if you're a caster, this seems to offer a bunch of mods. Not a caster, so it doesn't do much. Ooh, we got a sword. It's plus 10 damage on my offhand. And extra cold damage. Damage converted to cold. Defensive ability. Let's put it aside and then once back in town we'll have a look. But first, we go towards the portal. And wrap this up for the day. Or for the episode. So, back to town. Well, we made some pretty good progress. I think. So, our mission is going to be to hunt down Darius Cromley. And if you watched the previous playthrough, you know that's probably going to take a while. Because he's buried pretty deeply. So we'll have to murder our way through the desert to find him. That's gonna be fun. There's a lot of stuff going on there. There's the rovers and things. So I'm gonna deal with loot and see if I can equip this. Actually, I'll show you. I haven't showed it yet. Let's make that the very last thing here. So we want to replace this sword with this one. Because it has more damage and it has some cold damage, which is also pretty cool. The thing is though, this one has an aura that I want to preserve. So, if we do this and we say, well, keep the add-on, then we yank the upgrade out of the item and we destroy the weapon itself in the process. This is a fast sword, right? Fast, very fast. So, keep the add-on. Yeah, and then we have our purified salt back. And then we can equip the sword, reapply the purified salt. And we are ready to go, dealing more damage. Also, we leveled up. Oh, excellent. That means we can equip our new armor. Which means we are still not strong enough to hold up our pants. Wait, have no fear. If we level up, we level up. And we gain more physique. So, new skills. So I got some feedback in the comments from people. It's like, you know, execution on the far right end here. It's really insanely powerful. You might want to rush to get it. So I played around a little bit in Grimkalk and figured, well, if I would just keep things as they are and just spend 2 points per level on advancing the tree rather than 1 point per level. I mean, we're now at level 20. So in order to get to 50, we need to spend 30 more points. So if we spend 2 points per level up, that means in 15 levels we are there. So that's going to be in our late 30s. So that's probably what I'm going to do. But because we just unlocked a new tier of things, let's actually have a look. So, Ring of Steel. We already have it as a passive that triggers every once in a while, and that's pretty cool. So we can actually gain it as an active skill. Potentially interesting. Blade Barrier. This is yet another recovery skill. This looks actually very interesting. You can only use it once every 35 seconds, but then for 3 seconds you will be immobilized. You absorb all the damage that's coming your way. You reflect it back to the monsters. On top of that, you retaliate extra piercing damage, and during those 3 seconds you gain 100 health regenerated per second. On top of your normal health regeneration, of course, which is now 50. So during those 3 seconds you gain 50 plus 150 is 200 health per second. So that's 600 health that you recover. So if, say, your health bar dips dangerously low, you hit Blade Barrier and suddenly your health bar recovers a bit, monsters stop damaging you, your skills have a chance to regenerate, Our pneumatic burst, which has a 5-second skill recharge, recovers 3 seconds of recharge. So even if you use pneumatic burst, then you hit blade barrier, and then you are going to be regenerating a lot of health. So this is something I want to put a point in, and this is eventually going to be maxed because each level you add to it reduces the recharge. So eventually you can cast it, I think once every 10 seconds or so. That's pretty powerful, and the health regen goes through the roof. Anatomy of Murder is a nice bonus, but that's not important enough to spend our points on. Ring of Steel, it's gonna be yet another active skill, already juggling quite a bit, so we're gonna put a point into the next one. So we're actually gonna put another point into our Nightblade skill. Just put 2 points into it every level up until we get to the end. And then use the other point we have and points we get from quests and such to add 1 point into all the other skills. But Whirling Death, which is going to be an AoE, that I'm actually going to level this to 5 while playing as well. And all the other ones just keep at 1 for now. So that also means, let's see, potion, you go away, we get blade barrier. So let's see, if we activate it. That looks pretty impressive actually. So, I like it. Well, that was it for this episode. I've been talking too much already. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.